What if the most famous last stand in history was actually the most successful propaganda campaign ever launched? The story of the 300 Spartans is sold as the ultimate sacrifice for freedom. But that story is a carefully constructed brand, and to understand it, you have to understand the product, the Spartan warrior. They were not citizen soldiers. They were products of the Agoge, a lifelong state-sponsored system of brutal training that programmed them to see a glorious death in battle as the sole purpose of their existence. Dying wasn't just an option. It was their graduation, their triumph. Now erase the Hollywood myth. At the Battle of Thermopylae, there was an allied army of 7,000 Greeks. When the position was betrayed and lost, King Leonidas ordered a general retreat. He and his 300 Spartans, fulfilling their life's purpose, stayed behind to die. But here is the inconvenient truth the legend deliberately ignores. Another army, a contingent of 700 men from a city called Thespian, was also there. They were not Spartans. They were not raised in a death cult. They were ordered to retreat, to live, to fight another day. They refused. They chose to stay and die beside the Spartans. So, the controversial question history forces us to ask is this: who made the greater sacrifice? The warrior who was programmed from birth to seek a glorious death? Or the free citizen who was offered life but chose to sacrifice it out of loyalty? The legend of the 300 survived because it was a phenomenal marketing campaign for the Spartan brand. But perhaps it's so successful because it buries the more complex story of the Thespians, whose voluntary choice to die might just be the most profound and uncomfortable act of heroism that day. The propaganda worked, but the truth was its casualty